Take one.
We are live at Red Moon Sound Studio in Knoxville, Tennessee. Our featured artist today is Zachary Gilleran and his friends.
Follow it and keep your dreams in view. While I was driving to work, saw a kid sitting on the hood of his car, smoking a cigarette and grinning, breathing the smoke so far away from his body and face. I remembered some place I had been and couldn't recall where or when. Kept the smoke off my skin, and that's something to him. Still, it's 7 a.m. and I find it hard to sleep in. Won't you open up? I feel like I've been losing all night. When we're at home, it seems we're so at home. Forgot to grab my smokes and my light, and they keep me somewhere 6 feet safe there. Hold my breath and treat myself as fair as anyone else would. It seems to me it's about time I should. Play doom like an amateur and sanitize my mind when I die. Yeah, it's true, you gotta wait your turn, watch or waste your evening outside. And that keeps me somewhere 6 feet safe there. Hold my breath and treat myself as fair as anyone else would. And it seems to me it's about time I should. Somewhere 6 feet safe there. Hold my breath and treat myself as fair as anyone else would. And it seems to me it's about time I should. Justo como qualquer outra pessoa seria, pero sei que horas eu deveria. Some freak poinsettia and a vine smiled and met up. Together they're reaching for the front door of my Tennessee sports fan front porch. Put your shovel to the ground when you've had enough, or claw at the roots if you want it bad enough. But no matter how deep the damn crater, the plant grows back a week later. Do-do-do, do-do-do, da-da-da-da-da-da. Do-do-do, do-do-do, da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da. One night at a time. One night at a dang time. So I covered my body all up in peppermint, and I leaned my head against the subway tile. Was wishing that the holiday had come and went, but I needed looking after for a while. Just for a while. Not for a long, long time, or the rest of my whole life. So now I'm taking the car out in a big fuss, just to watch a ship that's sinking, and still holding on hope it's the best of us. What a strange and comforting feeling, just to feel it.
Hello, Zach. We're so glad you're here with us tonight. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, we're glad you're here. I would love for you to introduce your band.
Sure.
Yeah, tell me who you got.
Kevin Mahoney over here on bass, and Cory on drums. They are two of my best friends, and they have helped me a lot to make these songs.
Yeah, it seems like it. Seems very collaborative. It's great. I feel like I ask everybody this whenever they come on, but everyone has had vastly different answers, and I want to hear yours. So walk me through the process of songwriting and your creation mode. Tell me about that a little.
Yeah. So a lot of these songs, I've written songs for a long time, but a lot of this new batch of new songs, it's mostly happened. I started playing a lot of piano in like 2019 or something like that.
Yeah, you seem like a vet.
And vet, thank you.
You're welcome.
I would write something on piano that seemed hooky or seemed like I could make a song out of it. And those earlier days, I would just record it with my phone and then like listen to it while I'm driving around and be like, where could words fit in here or whatever. Same thing happens with guitar a lot of the time. But sometimes I'll just have an idea for something like Mikey or Sarah and be like, I want to write these stories, and so I have to think of an interesting musical piece to lay the story on top of. And that's a lot of the times, that's the hard part, and then a lot of the times the lyrics are the hard part. And then as far as these guys, I've kind of had a whole bunch of these songs written, and was not feeling myself or wasn't feeling confident to try to make a band or anything like that, and just their support, and like I would record a demo or something and send it to these guys, and then they very positive, and eventually it was just like, dude, we'll help you do this if you want to do this.
Yep.
And we haven't done a whole lot, but we were making an album. So I'm a bit of a recluse recently. Being in the studio is one of my favorite things in life to do. So yeah, hopefully we'll finish that up sometime this fall, maybe.
So that actually leads me into my next question. Where can fans find your music?
Not a lot of places, but we don't have recordings yet, which is
what I'm what I was getting about
Right.
about the record. But I've been making these practice videos of us rehearsing and putting goofy things on top of them along with lyrics. And that's on my Instagram, Zachary Gilleran.
Nice. Cool.
And same with YouTube. I put the same videos on YouTube.
Prime content.
Zachary Gilleran, no spaces.
Cool. Yeah, we'll put that on there too, so everybody knows.
Awesome. And when we finish the thing,
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be on Spotify and
Yeah,
whatever.
advertise
and
the shit out
Bandcamp
of
and
it.
everything.
Yep. You were kind of telling me earlier that you guys haven't really worked together all that much and haven't been performing all that much live. And it seemed like you were kind of attributing it to really just all the difficulties and hardship that all of us have experienced in the last 2 years. And so I really wanted to know from an artist perspective, what has been the hardest part of surviving, existing, just coping with the pandemic?
Mm-hmm. I personally have played in a lot of bands in Knoxville. Busy bands like Guy Marshall and Sweet Years. Actually, the three of us and another guy were in a band called Groundhog.
Yep.
And I was doing that for years, touring a little bit with Guy Marshall or Sweet Years or just staying busy ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
And that lifestyle, I'm not sure is what I ultimately want anyway.
Okay.
So the pandemic hit, which helped me kind of get into this phase of
Yep.
my life where I have time to write songs and appreciate myself maybe.
Yeah,
And
I
I
think
hadn't
that's
been
what I'm
doing that.
gathering. It seems like it was a very reflective
Yeah.
process for
And
you.
to feel like I'm capable.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah.
Way to go. Because I know a lot of us didn't come out of it feeling that way.
Like I said, I've had an anxiety disorder for, I don't know, 7 years or something like that. But it
Yep.
came at me really hard March of 2021. I couldn't work and I was just like completely
Checked out.
shut down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know if I can attribute that to the pandemic, but that's totally a possibility. I
So
don't
many
know. Who knows where
factors.
these
Yep.
triggers are actually coming
Yep.
from or how you get to feeling how you're feeling.
I love that you're open
Yeah, I can
about it,
imagine it's
though.
been a whole lot harder on tons of other artists
Oh,
than
yeah.
it actually was on me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think just having that vulnerability and that transparency,
Completely.
it really helps other people.
And
So,
the people around you,
yeah,
if you
hell
can
yeah.
just open up and let them into everything that's going on,
Yep.
it makes mental health issues so much easier to
Yep.
cope with.
I think we'd all be surprised how much support we can get if we just
Yeah.
ask.
Exactly.
So I wanted to know, when somebody bears witness to your art, what do you hope they feel?
Some comfort,
Okay.
calmness.
Yep.
For a lot of the songs are a little bit low tempo, mid tempo. I would like for them to feel intrigued
Mm-hmm.
with the record, to the point where they can focus on the tiny things that
Yep.
we all love hearing in music, and that's what we're doing with this album. We want to make something that sounds like anything that we've been listening to.
Yep.
The tasty things and all that. I don't want people to think it's cool.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah. Yeah, just anything, please.
I would like
Relatability, please.
Sometimes lyrically I'm vague. So, it would be cool for people to find meaning from whatever.
Cool.
And it's hard to work the other way for me. Like,
Oh,
I have a
yeah.
couple songs that are stories, but a lot of songs are sort of just pieces, fragments.
Right.
That I've just put into the same
Yeah.
melodic piece.
So what else do you have for us? Tell me what your next song is.
Speaking of a song that is about one thing, this one's called Mikey, and I wrote it when my car got stolen, and it's about the guy that stole my car from his perspective. And I made the story up. Maybe this is what happened, maybe it's not what happened, but this is how it goes. Just set it like this, I think, so the microphone works. Oh boy.
In May, I moved in with my cousin and her friend, and Penny kept tabs on each nickel I'd spend. Lord Michael, she'd say, they'll come and take you away, and you'll never lay hands on a dime bag again. I stayed sober, I stayed clean, I worked a few nights a week, and I'd bum a couple smokes from a kid down the street. He said he lives with his uncle, and it ain't all that bad, since his soon-to-be stepmom took off with his dad. And he's a pretty good kid, and we'd smoke and shoot shit. And one night he got drunk and told me something that happened while his uncle was away. A couple guys robbed their place, but the kid had been hiding, and got a look at their faces as he watched them take off, sprinting through the backyard. Ain't taking no shit from no one anymore, swear to God. Now his hands are both trembling and his eyes were blood red. If my uncle was home, man, he'd probably be dead. And then he asked for a hand and a favor instead. Could you help me with something? And I nodded my head. A couple of days later, we had worked out a plan, but we needed a car because Penny's was broken. And then just like a gift or a message from God, some pizza guy had walked off, left his keys in his car, and the engine was running, and I had to act quick, and I crossed all my fingers, I hope he don't drive a stick. And oh Christ, what a blessing when the door opened wide, wrapped my fingers around the wheel and put her in drive. Little alley, and I tossed out his phone, and I searched for some cash for it to make it my own. Oh, what a rush to be running, and what a feeling to be free. And I opened all the windows, and I played a CD. Now the sun's fully set. Cops had surely been called, but I'm fully torqued in my little hot rod. Where's the best place to take her? Yeah, the best place to hide. If I had a big shed, hell, I'd park it inside, but that just ain't the case. I could sell it for scrap and get high with the money. What a victory lap. No kid, man, the plan did I so soon forget. Yeah, with this newfound freedom, it's tempting to split, and I really hate to say it. It's just what I did. This will be the last thing we ever do. I'll just go. Sarah told me she's going crazy. She's been teaching in Montgomery, and she says she's gonna lose it if she don't kiss someone by Sunday. So I asked if it'd be worth it, 'cause it's really such a short trip. South across the river, a little movement might feel perfect, and you can tell me no and I'll lay low in Athens. But if I don't show, you still said something has to happen. I met her on her birthday, and she said my shoes looked goofy, and she chose American Pie for us to sing at karaoke. A bold move, she admitted, and yeah, that night I went with it. And we believed in rock and roll for 8.5 minutes. And while the king's looking down for me, the jester stole his thorny crown, and we bye-bye forever. Swell.